Hey y'all, welcome back to a new day in the vlog, girl. I was trying to talk to you guys about the let them theory, which is, I don't know if it falls under self-help or whatever, but basically the book that everyone had been raving about this summer by Mel Robbins, called the Let Them Theory. I feel like I wasn't showing up as myself in the last clip, and I feel like, or how I wanted to present myself on camera. While we talk about, working to become the best versions of ourselves, the most high versions of ourselves, while we read all the self-help books and, implement all the morning routines, all the workout routines, while we do all the fasts, the detoxes, changing our mentality around things, our mindsets, and the way that we eat, think, and breathe, and live our lives, and how we show up. Like earlier in the year when I did the, how to pick yourself back up, how to, build your self-esteem, how to build your confidence series up on the channel, girl. I was just saying that when I did that earlier this year, and progressively, just like throughout my life, or just within the last 5 to 7 to 8 years, for sure, girl, I can just say that there was this one concept or like theory that Mel talked about in the Let Them Theory, that I just kind of like, when I thought about it, and was like, yeah, that's exactly what it was, right? And it's called the 5 whys. So I think it's like the 5 why theory, or like the 5 whys or something like that. And basically you just like ask yourself why, like 5 times, or girl, I guess in my case, however many times it takes or took to get down to the root cause of why are you feeling the way that you are? Why are you putting up with what you're putting up with? Why are you, continuing to go through these cyclical patterns, and cycles, and not making it out at the end of it on top? When you think about, like, being accountable, having accountability, having integrity, being self-assertive, just kind of like all the things, that we spoke about from the 6 pillars of self-esteem earlier in this year, girl, on the channel. But what I was saying is I just kind of naturally did that. And I just want to give you girls an example, because basically you just ask why. Like, well, why do you feel like that? Why did you allow that to happen to you? Why did you stay in that circumstance longer than you should have? Excuse me, why do you think you feel like that? Why do you feel like you accepted that? Why do you feel like you, and girl, we are on our way to pick up Tatum, because girl, it's Friday. Like I said, it's been a couple of days since that last clip, and it's time for me to edit it, export it, and, do all the things so I can get it up, for you girls for this Sunday, okay? Ooh, Lord. Mercy. Okay. Okay. Your backpack on your back, Pooh. Show them your backpack. I don't understand why you got an attitude. What you got an attitude for? Why would I need to pick up Jace first? Why I can't pick you up first? Take your backpack off and get on in your car, in your booster seat, and go on buckle yourself up. Child. Okay, got the kids secured, on the way to get kid number 2, baby. This little back and forth between the schools is really throwing me off. I haven't been able to be in the gym. I'm not even going to tell y'all for how long. Nor have I even been doing my mom workout. I don't know, like some days you'll just like wake up in like such a bad mood, or like really be like dreading work or something like that. I'm just using this as an example. I really don't feel good about myself right now. I feel the ick. Like I feel just like really icky. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. It's not like anything in particular happened today, this morning, to trigger it specifically. Maybe it's just like a pile up or an accumulation of, different events, feelings, all the things, right? Let's just say it pertains to your job, right? Let's just say, for the last year, several months, you just really been feeling like unseen, or, not valued, or, whatever. Let's just say that's the essence of it, right? And so like the 5 why theory, and what I have found myself implementing, over the years, just really to like have accountability, and to really not push the blame or shift the blame on other individuals, but to always be able to, look at things from another lens, for one, and to be able to possibly try to consider what the other person is dealing with and juggling, and what they may or may not have capacity for, even though we may not understand that all the time, always in full, emotionally and intellectually, just mature, right? To just realize that, hey, you know, it could possibly be me, you know, versus it being or always, you know, shifting the onus and the blame on someone else. I'm just gonna continue on if he's not wanting to talk to the girls. Okay, no problemo. Tatum does this thing where like he like is really rude at times, like where he is obviously aware that like I'm talking to an adult, talking to y'all, talking to anybody other than him, and like he'll just do this thing where like he's like really loud and he like tries to over talk me and over sing me and over just whatever, play his tablet really loud, girl. He be up on that rude tip a little bit, so I be having to make sure I had it in check. It's Monday morning and you don't feel like being at work, you know, like I said, you just have an ick. So, you know, why, you know? And so you just begin to go down the list and the checks of why, and just be like, you know, why am I feeling icky? Why am I feeling like today is not a good day, when in all actuality today is a good day? And today, you know, God woke me up and I have breath and I have brand new mercy and I still have his grace, you know, and I am loved, and there's no reason that I cannot pivot or shift my mindset, you know, to be reflective of what the day actually is, which is a brand new day, you know, filled with glory, filled with mercy, like all the things. So, right, so, but I'm in an ick, right? I'm in an ick. I don't feel good. I don't want to be here. I dreaded even coming to work. Oh no. Why? Because I just don't feel like doing this. I feel like the work that I do is, you know, the value is maybe not appreciated. The work is not seen. Nobody's trying to see it. You know, I have to juggle, you know, dealing with multiple different personalities. I don't know. I'm literally just using an example, and you'd be like, well, why are you still working there? You can even ask yourself, like, why do you still feel like this? If you've been in this position for so long, then why do you even still feel like this? You know, why haven't you made a move? You know, and it's been thus many years later. There's something about this situation that just makes me feel like so uneasy, you know? And then you ask yourself why. It's literally like an internal monologue that you're having with yourself, you know, and you're just answering all of those questions. And it's just like, you know, oh, well, maybe I feel like I don't advocate, you know, on behalf of my kids enough, right? For whatever, school, you know, in co-parenting, you know, just to my mom, their grandparents, or to my dad, their grandfather, or just whomever, you know. Maybe it's on the job, you know, maybe you don't feel like your work is appreciated. Maybe you feel like, you know, the contributions that you make, you know, to your particular company are just unseen and unappreciated, or maybe they're not seen to the level in which they need to be seen, or maybe there are several layers above you. It's basically not visible to the individuals that are responsible for making important decisions, you know, at your job, whether that's related to like promotion, or whether that's related to, you know, raise or annual bonus, or, you know, shares and equity in the company or something, just whatever, right? Let's just say that's your ick for today, and then you just go down the list and just ask why, you know. So if you feel like you're not advocating on behalf of your kids enough, because I know I felt like that before, and then you ask yourself why. Is it the fact that, you know, you are afraid to speak up, you're afraid to say something, or is it the fact that, you know, you don't want to ruffle any feathers? Is it the fact that you don't want to, you know, make another person feel a certain type of way? And if that's the case, why? You know, even if it's on the job, you know, why haven't you spoken up for what it is that you do? Oh, I don't want to be seen as the individual who, you know, is complaining, or always has something negative to say, or always has a rebuttal, or, you know, just always has a problem, like the problem individual. And then you ask yourself why. Is it that, you know, you are considering another individual's feelings, or you are trying to predict an outcome that you don't even know yet, or you are considering that person's feelings over yourself, or over, you know, the sacrifices that you have to make? Maybe you're just trying to keep the peace a little bit too much, in all actuality you actually need to speak out and speak up and speak out. You know, maybe a part of being assertive, you know, a part of being able to, you know, have a difficult conversation, you know, as a mature, healthy, emotionally healthy adult.
Like it's cool, like you still be back in the days. You was always like with me. She's feeling the role that I'm supposed to play. Some feelings never go away. I'm not a fool, like you still be back in the days. No longer have access to me. Playing the role that you couldn't play. Some feelings never go away.
Back to the job, you know. So when you think about the fact that you know the work that you put in, you know your contributions, you know the value that you bring, you know that if you left that job, nobody else would be able to do exactly what it is that you do, you know, to the level of accuracy, to, you know, be able to whatever, right? Fill in the blank, make it make sense, because girl, we all do so many different things here. And basically when it boils down to it, girl, you just end up having to ask yourself, okay, either, well, why am I still here? Why am I still dealing with it? Why haven't I done anything to change it or shift it? You know, and why am I still putting up with this? Is it a situation of, you know, maybe the season is over? You know, do I need to speak up? How do I need to speak up? You know, what would make me feel better? Like, so now that I've gotten to the nitty gritty of it, right? So do you need to go, should I apply for other jobs, right? Have I gained everything from this one particular job role, and now it's time for me to move on vertically, elevate vertically, you know, find other outlets? Is it time for me to just completely do something different? Maybe I want to do something more creatively. Maybe I want to do something, you know, less analytically. Maybe I want to, you know, do something that is more analytical. Okay, well, maybe it is time for me to begin putting myself out there, making myself available, you know, now that I've already positioned myself, you know, now that I've already leveled up, you know, now that I feel like I am mentally healthy enough to, or have the capacity to add in more to the pot, you know, just so many different things. And I'm not trying to be like too specific. I guess I'm trying to be, you know, general enough and, you know, provide enough, you know, like common examples for us to just like get the point. When you narrow it down, even when it comes to the job, right? You either make a decision, okay, well, if I feel like I'm not valued, if I feel like I'm not seen, if I feel like y'all really just honestly playing on my face, it's either, okay, do I decide to stay? And if you decide to stay, then are you going to be okay with just playing the role? Are you going to be okay with just going through the everyday motions? You know, are you going to be okay with just doing whatever needs to be done, you know, just to cut the check? Or are you, right? Because some of us are in that situation. Some of us are parents. Some of us do, you know, have to suffer seasons of uncomfortability and discomfort, you know, because we are grown, because we are adults, because we are parents. So, I mean, you know, we do have to make ends meet. But when it just gets to the point where you can't stop thinking about it, it's weighing on you, it's affecting how you show up in the world, how you show up in life on a day-to-day basis, what you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, you know, and it's getting in the way of you being able to, you know, see your identity and who you really are in Christ. Just like all of those things. And when it's just weighing on your mental, then you bucket it or drew out your diagram, you know, or whatever that is, and just kind of mapped it out in your head. Because I know me, I'll just like sit and just map it out in my head, and it'll take some weeks, it'll take some days, it'll take some time for me to map it out and really just be like, what exactly is it? Why am I so frustrated? Who is actually frustrating me? What exactly about what I'm being asked to do is frustrating me? Like, why do I feel like this, you know? And you just ask yourself why over and over and over again. And in my cases, girl, I far out exceeded the 5 whys. Sometimes I would just keep asking myself why over and over again. And I'm still doing that, and I still do that to this day. I'm not in any counseling. I'm not in any therapy, even though I am looking into that and I feel like that would definitely benefit me. I'm just letting y'all know what has been done up until now. And so, you know, that definitely helped me. Again, it's called The 5 Whys. If you have not read Mel Robbins' The Let Them Theory, you should absolutely read it. Just the overall narration, like she's narrating, like the way that she's reading, like, you know, her tone, her diction, her, you know, articulation, you know, her voice inflection, like the epitome of the Let Them Theory. And I highly recommend listening to Mel Robbins' The Let Them Theory, or reading it. After you have identified your buckets, kind of clear from there, you know, and you've gotten down to the meat and potatoes of what is actually bothering you, that ick, you know, that thorn that's in your side. Like and so you're either able to ask God to remove this cup from you, or you're either asking him for more capacity, for, you know, endurance, for, you know, for him to just, and you're releasing that burden over to him, for him, you know, to just take it, and for you just to rest at Jesus's feet, Lord, because that's where I am right now. Okay, that is absolutely where I am right now. And it ebbs and flows, right? You know, and I feel like I've been there, you know, so many times before within the last, you know, 3 to 5 to 7 to 8 years, I can definitely say. And then just without having the tools, or having any, you know, formalities, or having any, you know, I guess like formal, you know, I don't know, like, you know, I guess without even having all of that, or before even knowing about like the 5 Why theory, this is how I got down to being able to accept self-sabotage ultimately, you know, realize how I was not advocating for myself, standing up for myself, and, you know, in a sense, how I was not advocating and standing up for my children. You know, a lot of this work came before I had kids, but some of it did trickle over into, you know, when I was pregnant and my kids were still, you know, very young. So, you know, and then in a sense, like, you're proud of yourself, and then you get to work on you. It allows you to work on you. It allows you to just focus on you. And you're constantly like leveling up yourself. You're constantly becoming better yourself. You're constantly, you know, reaching for the top. Yeah, you know, like all the things. And you're constantly focused on you, okay? Be focused on you. And if you are just focused on you, then I would say that you care less about what the other person is doing. It's going to take a while to get there, but slowly and surely, in phases, incrementally, you just start caring less and less about what the individual is doing, and more about what you're doing to remove yourself from that situation, to better your situation, to find a new job, to level up, to make more money, to, you know, lose that last 15 pounds that you've been wanting to lose, or lose that 150 pounds that you've been needing to lose for your health, or to advocate on behalf of your kids more, to just show up in the world as you want to show up. Beautiful, bold, courageous, nice, kind, positive, uplifting, girl, all the things. So that is it. That is all. I am so glad that I re-recorded the clip, girl. It is Friday. Happy Friday, okay?
And I hate talking about my stroke game. Look at I give you the whole thing. Like 25 on your face, 5 for your shades. So you can't see these other niggas, they won't call you again. I hate talking about my stroke game. But girl, I'm giving you the whole thing. Like 25 on your face, 5 for your shades. So you can't see these other niggas, they won't call you again. Girl, you wouldn't have to worry about a damn thing. If I was up in it, shit, I bet I'm down. Bet I put it down. Forget that you was ever better. And I hate talking about my stroke game. But girl, I'm giving you the whole thing. I could put like 25 on your face, 5 for your shades. So you can't see these other niggas, they won't call you. And I hate talking about my stroke.
Well, because what I normally do is I want it made with almond milk, and then I would normally get like an extra shot of espresso, and then I would normally get like an extra pump of white mocha.
I want to taste all the ramen at Starbucks. Really? Oh, you like it's not. It's just a water ramen in the Starbucks. Like,
Hey loves, happy Sunday, girl. It's a new day in the vlog. Okay, girl, it is Sunday. Such a good day. We went to church today. Okay, boys and I just got out of church. That's Tatum peeping through the cut. I had to stop at Starbucks and get a little drinky drink. Okay, normally I get a white chocolate mocha made with almond milk. I get it tall size, put in a grande cup with vanilla sweet cold foam on top instead of the whipped cream, and I get an extra shot of espresso, and I get an extra pump of white mocha. Girl, I am a hot coffee person year round. If y'all hear something blowing in the back, girl, that's the air, because it's hot. Jesus, it is so hot. That's what I was just finna say. Normally I am a hot coffee type of person all year round. Summer, winter, spring, fall, the in between, all the things. But like today it was just way too hot to drink white chocolate mocha hot latte. So I got it iced, you know, grande, vanilla sweet cold foam on top. You can get this non-dairy if you want. I've gotten it non-dairy. It's just a smidge less sweet than just the regular vanilla. Extra shot of espresso, same thing. It just really honestly just tastes like a regular iced coffee, girl. Nothing special about it, but it's definitely giving me what I need. Girl, happy Sunday. Y'all, church was so good today. Like, I am going to oh, and we're in the car because I'm getting thin crust pizza, and I'm getting the boys cheese pizza, like half cheese, half pepperoni, just like for a little after church snack. Like, I woke up this morning with my head hurting. That's how hungry I was. I'm like, did I not eat yesterday? But I did eat. I ate a Factor. I ate grilled chicken, mashed meat, something like that. So I don't know. Wanted to jump on. You guys cannot see the fit. I'll give you girls a fit check, what we wore to church when we get to the house. Just wanted to say hello, my loves. Hold on. I was really trying to hold off on having pizza until, you know, I got into Miami. I don't even think I told y'all. By the time y'all see this vlog, girl, I'm gonna be in Miami. Probably on my way back from Miami back to Memphis. But anyways, girl, I didn't tell y'all. So this past Mother's Day, I really didn't get to do anything for my mom because if you guys recall, just several vlogs back, girl, just several vlogs back, I was in Atlanta for Mother's Day. So didn't really get to do anything for myself nor my mom. And then my mom's birthday is a little bit like after Labor Day. So at the end of this week, and today is like August the 23rd, I think. Today's like August the 23rd or the 24th. It's Sunday. So we'll be in Florida, flying into Fort Lauderdale, spending a little bit of time in Miami, girl, the yams. Okay, got some fun things up for there. So anyways, that's what's coming after this vlog. Check my YouTube analytics last night. Y'all, the 4,000 watch hours and the 1,000 subscribers, y'all, we gotta run it up. Okay, we have to run it up. Like, girl, the topics are good, the vlogs are good, like, personality is there, like, energy level is there, the up and up. Like, y'all, 4,000 watch hours, oh my god. Let's go ahead. So that's what we talked about in church today, literally saying it out loud, speaking it out loud. By this time next year, end of next year, we will be monetized. We will have 1,000 subscribers, and we will have 4,000 watch hours. Okay, they said don't say it if you don't believe it. So oh my gosh, like, because baby, the click-through rate on the videos is absurd. Y'all probably wouldn't even believe that I still haven't even ordered a new tripod yet. But anyways, I'm trying to show you guys the full outfit that we wore to church, a little bit off the shoulder, not doing too much, right? So just because, you know, you see, it's just like, I guess like, I don't know what to call it. And then like one shoulder, it has a little bit of detail of like this, like a little, I don't know, it's not ruching with these bracelets, and they always get twisted around. You guys seen these when we went to brunch a couple of vlogs ago. Girl, do not look at the nails. So so far past far field. And then just a little cute little necklace. And right now I just got on my little sandals, but I did not wear them to church, obviously, girl. I actually had on some like neutral flats with a little like thin strap over them. And I actually hate wearing like a dress with like flats. Like I feel like that's, you know, really like giving high school, you know, when your mom really didn't let you wear heels and when you couldn't really wear heels like that anyway, for real. I don't really like wearing, I'm such a heel person. I'm a heel person in general. I'm a heel with pants person. I'm a heel with shorts person. I'm just a heel person in general. So the fact that, you know, the whole like Achilles thing, you know, I'm really unable to wear heels, it's really getting to me. I'm not gonna lie, like, and it's gonna be a while. Like, we're still in the first year. It's gonna take a full year for me to like fully recover. But anyways, I wanted to get on. I need to take a thumbnail for you girls. I wanted to, you know, make sure that I showed you guys what I was wearing fully.
And I hate talking about my stroke game, but girl, I'm giving you the whole thing. Like 25 on your finger, 5 for your shades, so you can't see these other niggas. They won't call you again. I hate talking about my stroke game, but girl, I'm giving you the whole thing. Like 25 on your finger, 5 for your shades, so you can't see these other niggas. They won't call you again. Girl, you wouldn't have to worry about a damn thing. If I was up in it, shit, I better bounce. Better put it down. Get the shooters out better. And I hate talking about my stroke game, but girl, I'm giving you the whole thing. Put like 25 on your finger, 5 for your shades, so you can't see these other niggas. They won't call you again. I hate talking about my stroke game.
Y'all, it is literally so much time later. Like, I cannot even face reality, creamy barrier. Y'all, so much time later, same day. Dad put some wings on the grill. Boys, my kids love grilled chicken wings, like so much. Girl, they love them so much that they didn't even make me start loving the grilled wings, literally. I cannot lie. Y'all, I've really been struggling with forgiveness. It's not all the time. It's not with every situation. And majority of the times, it's not with petty situations. Like, it's not with little bitty petty situations, like somebody wronged me or somebody, you know, talked to me the wrong way, or, you know, they crossed me, or they stole from me, or they robbed me, or they, you know, it's not any of that. Like, these are like really big situations that I'm talking about, really big situations that I'm struggling with forgiving. One of the two big situations or scenarios I've already forgiven, but it took me a while. Okay, I've already forgiven, but it took me a while. And you know, I would say that the first few, not several, few, and not couple, because couple is two, several is many. So I would just say few. The few first couple of years, like, I wouldn't say that I played the victim role, but I can say that for sure I was just not really understanding why exactly a particular situation happened. Didn't understand what happened, didn't understand what transpired, didn't understand why. I just knew I was sick of it, removed myself from the situation, never really talked to the individual again, you know? I would say that once I became a mom, once I became a seasoned mom, and once certain things began to, you know, unfold within my life, certain life experiences that I began to gain as a mother, I would say that is what really brought on me being able to see things, feel things, evaluate things in a different light, from a different lens, from a different perspective, because I was more seasoned, I had more experience. I think the first thing is, for one, you don't want to be fake, right? For one, you know, when you think about forgiveness, you really want to truly have forgiven the individual in your heart. meaning that, you know, when I see you, I'm not being fake. When I see you, you know, I'm able to actually want to speak to you, want to wish you well, you know, because sometimes you can want to not wish harm on somebody, but when you see them, you don't necessarily want to speak. Let me know if y'all feeling me on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I wish you ill. It's not that I wish you evil, but it's just the fact that I just don't really want to I just don't want to be involved. I don't want no dealings. I don't want us to be involved with one another. I don't necessarily, you know what I'm saying? So I was in that place for a really, really, really long time. It wasn't until, you know, I became a mom that I felt certain things myself and was able to look back on certain situations and think, oh wow, this person probably felt like this too. Oh wow, this person probably felt like that about me. Oh wow, this person probably felt really unsupported. Oh wow, this person probably felt like I didn't have their back. Oh wow, this person probably, you know what I'm saying? And I've already made amends with this particular individual that I'm talking about. If you're watching this, okay, you know who you are. But it took me a while. And when I mean a while, I'm talking about like 4-5 years. It took a long time, right? Because the first couple of years of it was, I'm done with you. Baby, we're done. I can't. What are we talking about here? You know, it was that simple. Like, it was that simple. Like, we cannot, this is unhealthy. We don't even have to keep wasting each other's time. So it was that for a really long time. Apologies were, you know, sent. And I was still just kind of like, you know, not feeling it. But it was certain situations, like I said, that I went through, you know, as a mom, you know, that made me really be able to see. And that's one thing, right? So if you're on the other end, and guys, y'all know I wash my face 1,000 times, you know what I'm saying? But if you're on the other end, meaning that you did something to, you know, offend the individual, hurt the individual, harm the individual, steal from, you know, hurt feelings of the other individual, you know, babes, give it time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to allow time for God to be able to work, you know, on our behalf, on your behalf, you know, work on the other person's heart. Like, different things have to happen in life. Different experiences have to happen and transpire in life for, you know, people to go through things, for people to be able to see, you know, different situations and life scenarios from, you know, another perspective. Baby, that lemon water, I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm back on it. I am back on it. Okay, wait till I get back in the gym. Ooh, that is so good. So while this whole time, you know, I was going through a situation, you know, being like, oh, well, how could this have happened to me? Why did this happen to me? You know, this was not fair for this to have happened to me. You know, I just don't understand. So many things. It took 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years after that for me to go through certain life experiences, for me to feel similar feelings of, you know, loss, similar feelings of, you know, hurt, certain feelings of, you know, solo mom life, certain feelings of these feelings that I would not have had during the time when I was, you know, had a platonic relationship with somebody. Do you get what I'm saying? So we have to, on one end, we have to allow time, you know, for certain things for certain things to transpire. And I'm trying to remind myself of that and tell myself that, because girl, right now I'm really struggling with another layer and level of forgiveness. Like, I thought that I would not be able to forgive the last situation that happened, but I was able to. And now, you know, I've talked to the individual, and you know, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Can't say we going to Dubai tomorrow, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't wish harm on the person. Never did. It just took me a while to be able to get through it. And like, I was literally sitting on the couch like crying yesterday, with going in with the Face Reality calming facial toner, because honestly guys, I think that I'm more mad at myself than anybody, than anything with this new situation. I think that I'm so mad at myself. You know, I just feel, where does this go? I don't know where this goes. Let's just make it a little bow. Anyways, I just feel like I'm so mad at myself, and I felt like this the last 3, 4, 5 years. Like, and we're talking about we're on another situation now, girl. But I'm just so mad at myself, and I'm just trying to, you know, forgive myself. And every time I feel like I've forgiven myself and I can move on, and you know, it doesn't bother me. One day I'll be on the up and up, and it'll be so light and airy and such a positive vibe, and you know, we're vibing and it's cool. I can be around you and we can associate with one another. Then some time will pass, and I feel like that feeling that I just spoke about when I felt like I was being mature, now I feel like you playing in my face. Now I feel like you playing with me. Now I feel like you playing with my life. Now I feel like you playing with my kids. Now I feel like you're not respecting my time. You're not respecting my input. You're not respecting, you know, my value, my worth, or you're not, you know, seeing, appreciating, you know, whatever. And then I go in a circle, and I'm like, wait, but why are you expecting, or, you know, even thinking or feeling that somebody else is gonna weigh your value or consider your value or anything like that? And then it's like, are you giving the other person too much power, too much control, too much contribution, and you know, like all of that over your life situation? And then it's just such a whirlwind of things. It's just like a cycle that I'm going through over and over again with the feelings. Like, one minute I feel good, emotionally, intellectual, and then the next minute, you know, I'm feeling like, okay, I got this, I'm mature, I moved on a bit, you know, I'm good, I'm solid, like me and my kids were good where we're at, you know. And you know, then the next minute I'm like, okay, cool, I'm really excelling on the job. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's going to be good. I'm going to go back to, you know, school. I'm going to be able to advance in my career. And then the next minute, it's just like, you know, and you see certain things. And I think that what I've learned to pay attention to and discern along the way is just measuring the fruit. Discernment, being able to not just simply rely on what someone says, like verbally, but actually is what they say verbally matching up to actually what they're doing in life, in every single day, in real life, on a day-to-day basis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I cannot lie, like with this one particular situation, I'm struggling. I am struggling because, you know, I was reading Romans, and I was talking to ChatGPT, and I was in Psalm, and I was, you know, just saying like, what happens when in real life, when love is not enough? What happens when, you know, you love somebody and somebody loves you, and, you know, even if it's like a family member, like even like a step parent or a mom or a dad or a cousin, like even if it's somebody that you fell out with in your family, what happens in real life when love is not enough? What happens when, you get what I'm saying? When we know that we're supposed to try to make peace out of certain situations, and we're supposed to try to, you know, keep the peace, make peace. We're supposed to try to always see eye to eye and always be level-headed and be considerate and try to look at things things, you know, from a different lens and consider different perspectives and outcomes. What happens when you feel like somebody playing in your face? Yeah, I love you, you love me, but you clearly playing with me right now. You're clearly gaslighting me right now. You're clearly thinking that I'm some play right now. What happens? And that's where I'm at. And I was just kind of reading in Romans and reading in Psalms, you know, and just having to remind myself, really just feeling the weight of my human limitations, like really being frustrated with the fact that I can't control everything and that I don't have control over everything and that I'm not gonna have control over everything. So why am I trying to control everyone's life? The kids are in the bed. Yeah, it's pretty dry now, so we can go on with the next thing, which is our Hydra Balance Gel. I don't know if I showed you guys this in our last vlog, but I literally love this stuff. My skin loves this stuff. This is the best stuff that ever happened to my life, to my skin, after the J.Lo Beauty Glow Beauty Serum, which no one talks about that. I don't know why. But again, this is Face Reality, the Hydra Balance Gel. So that's just kind of where I am, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, and then when I get to this place, I just don't be wanting to talk to people. Like, it's happened time after time after time again. Like, when I feel like somebody has played in my face, when I feel like people have not been real about certain things, when I feel like I can look back on the last 2-3 years and see something today that I didn't see then, and now there's revelation, there's epiphany, there is, you know, exposure there. When I feel like that, babes, I fall all the way off, baby. Because that's the only way from there that I'm able to process my thoughts, that I'm able to, you know, level up from there, that I'm even able to, you know, and sorry for rambling, guys. Like, we are about to get in the bed. I'm just doing a little skincare. Just wanted to close off the vlog and let you guys know that what I've been struggling with a little bit. And obviously I'm not like giving specifics about, you know, certain situations, but, you know, I'm just letting you guys know that like one situation that I felt like I would have never been able to, you know, forgive, I was able to forgive, but now I'm in another situation, and guys, I don't even know what to do. I was breaking down crying like, Lord, please take it from here, because my human limitation stops here, but eyes have not seen, you know, ears have not heard. I have no idea what you're working up here. I have no idea, you know, and I'm just trying not to be mean. I'm just trying not to go off. I'm just trying not to, you know, push a situation back 5 years. You know, I'm just trying to keep the peace. Baby, I am trying. But when I don't have no words to say, when I don't have nothing positive to say, like, I mean, there's nothing to say. I don't have anything to say. And, you know, I've just really, you know, spent some time in prayer yesterday and gonna spend some time in prayer tonight after this, just kind of, you know, talking to God again, seeking his face, seeking his word, because God, I need a word from you. And I think he gave it to me in church today. And I think he gave it to me in Psalm 27. And I think he gave it to me in Romans 11 and 12. And it's forgiveness, and it's hard, and I'm struggling with it. And in this situation, because I'm not a petty person. I'm not, like I said, a lot of the stuff that would get somebody, you know, they don't bother me. I'm talking about life situations that are hard for me to get through, and sometimes hard for me to forgive. So y'all, that I can only be real. You know what I'm saying? So what happens in real life when you feel like you're being played with and love is just not enough, babes? Love is not enough. And what happens when people are telling you that your expectations are too high, and your expectations of people, your expectations of employees on the job, what happens when people are telling you that your expectations too high? What happens when What happens when your expectations are actually really too high? What happens? Or is that even such a thing? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Girl, that's it. That's all for the vlog. Okay, girl. We're gonna wrap it up. If you're new here, girl, it's Bianca, your favorite 31-year-old mom of 2 little toddler boys. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. If any part of the vlog resonated with you, any part of the video resonated with you, baby girl, please be sure to give us a like, comment down below, subscribe, share the video. We love to have you here, girl. That's it. That's all. I'll catch you in the next one, girl. Bye.